Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mitch McCoy. I'm the Director of Public Affairs and Information for the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Chief Robert Tracy is going to provide you an update on this upcoming weekend security operations. In addition to Chief Tracy, we have Lieutenant Colonel Renee Kreisman. She is the commander of our Operations Bureau. We also have Lieutenant Colonel Eric Larson, who is over Crime Control Strategies, which also includes our Intelligence Division. And then we also have Major Latricia Allen. She is the commander of Investigative Services, which includes our juvenile detectives who will be helping this weekend at our reunification center. Chief Tracy?
Thank you, Mitch, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Allow us to give an update. Just like the update when we had the figure skating Olympics come in, we gave a good update outside the Enterprise Center. And then in light of things that happened last weekend, and also because of spring break, we thought we'd update you how we're doing all our plans, getting ready for this week and getting ready for the weekend. First thing, this is an exciting weekend downtown. We anticipate tens of thousands of visitors at the Enterprise Center for the NCAA basketball. These sporting events kick off tomorrow through Sunday. This event will bring some of the best basketball teams and fans across the country to our city. For months, Operations has been collaborating with the City of St. Louis, the Sports Commission, and the Enterprise Center to ensure those attending are safe. You will see increased presence throughout downtown and downtown west neighborhoods. If you see something, please say something. Call 911 or tell a police officer. As spring break continues in our community, any reckless disregard for life or property will not be tolerated. Over this past weekend, we saw hundreds and hundreds of juveniles dropped off without any parent or guardian in the downtown area, in the downtown west, and one of the neighbors up north. There will be short-term 10 p.m. curfew on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights in downtown and downtown west neighborhoods to prevent the recurrence of last weekend's behavior. The curfew applies to anyone under the age of 18 without a parent or guardian. Juveniles arrested for curfew will be detained and taken to our reunification center where parents will be contacted to pick their child up. This will be operated in the same fashion like we did over the 4th of July holiday. Parents, I want to be clear. This is your one and only warning. When we did it on the 4th of July, you did not take our warning, and in the first night, we had many kids come down, many parents have to be cited for contributing to delinquency of a minor, and the rest of the nights actually went very, very calm. So I don't want to even have to be in that position. We have the resources to do it, but we're asking not to be put in that position, to have to do that. This is not about wanting to do it, but it's necessary to make sure behavior changes, people are being responsible, and so have our children, to keep them safe. We have been collaborating with the mayor's office regarding the upcoming operation, even up till this morning, finalizing some details. And I understand that the mayor's office has put out a statement just recently before this press conference. And they have committed several city services to the Reunification Center, including the Office of Violence Prevention and Youth and Family Services. While we had planned for additional police presence downtown for other events, there'll be even a greater police presence across downtown west neighborhood to ensure that we can have this curfew enforced if needed. Our officers will be hard-working monitoring neighborhoods for any street takeovers like we saw last weekend, which will not be tolerated. They are reckless, they are dangerous, and cause unnecessary noise for our residents. Last weekend, a young woman was ejected from a car that she was hanging on to. This has to stop. We will deploy specialized units, including our SWAT officers and undercover patrol units, and we will have, including our aviations unit, which is Metro Air Support. Anyone caught during a street takeover will face the possibility of having their cars spiked and/or towed. I want to provide you an update on our ongoing investigation into the street takeover that occurred in District 1, which led to a marked patrol SUV being blocked by a mob of people. Simply put, our phones and our tip lines have not stopped ringing since we asked for assistance into this investigation, and we will follow up on those individuals that got in the way of our police officers to lawfully to do their job, step in front of a police car while they're trying to take police action. It's not going to go in the city of St. Louis. It's not going to go with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Officers. We have to support our police officers, and we can't have this happening. And therefore, the individuals we are investigating now, we are getting tips in, and we're looking to hold them accountable when we identify them all. And then when we do identify and take the necessary action, we'll put the news out on that. We're also identifying multiple vehicles. When we do identify those multiple vehicles, we will impound them as well. Our detectives are hard at work, and we appreciate your tips. Please continue to call 314-444-0100 with any information. As these cases develop, we will work with the circuit attorney and the municipal court to determine what charges are going to be issued depending on the behavior of the individual that comes out in our investigation. And in closing, just a couple hours ago, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department requested assistance from the Missouri Highway Patrol for security operations this weekend. We have done that in the past. We have done that, if you saw it in Mardi Gras, you've seen it during the EF3 tornado. You've seen them be there for us. And we also work with our partners in the region. This is nothing out of the norm, and we work closely, as always, on a regular basis. And 4th of July was also one of those events. And we appreciate the support of the Highway Patrol to assist us in this upcoming weekend. And let's get something straight. We've had major events year-round in the city of St. Louis. We just had 50,000 people at a country music concert over in the Dome. We have one of the best baseball teams in the world, the Cardinals. We have the Blues. We have St. Louis City Soccer that's right across the street that's going to have a game on Saturday night. We've had major events here, and including now with March Madness. And we'll have one of our home state colleges, Mizzou, playing on Sunday night. We've been doing a lot of this, but when you put these extra additional things in, we as the police department, we're going to address them all. We're going to make sure we put a good plan in place and try to make sure everybody can be safe. And we also want to keep our juvenile population safe as well. And one more thing I wanted to hit, there were some things that happen in bars that go to a 3 o'clock closing. We're also taking a close look with Excise Commission, we're taking a good look with buildings to address those areas of sometimes violence that are happening in and outside, are some of the things that we're closely monitoring to make sure we can keep people safe in these establishments or hold these establishments accountable. So with that, I'll take some questions with my team, so let's open it up.
Is it fair to say this curfew sheet was a direct response to what happened over the weekend, or was this already in the works, given that the NCAA tournament was going to be in town? How did this come about?
You know, looking at 4th of July, we've been reviewing what do we need to do downtown. Downtown's a little bit different. We do have a curfew in place that's already an ordinance. It's 11 o'clock on weekdays, and then it's 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. midnight for Saturday, Sunday. I think we looked at it closely. Those things, we felt too much happened before that time. And then downtown west is a little bit different because in neighborhoods you at least have somewhat of a structure of community and people that are guardians and also parents that are in that area. But when you have a downtown west and you have people coming from East St. Louis, further out in Illinois, you have people from North County, West County, South County, including our own kids coming down with nothing to do but to roam the streets and sometimes shoot off fireworks at each other, start to take a look at, and sometimes even bring firearms down. So when that's a natural recipe for a disaster, when you start to have that type of conflict and then starting to see groups running around that have nothing to do. And, you know, we saw things that happened last weekend, and we really came to the 10 o'clock because some of these things happened right after 10 o'clock. So we want to make sure if these things are starting to happen, we came to a 10 o'clock curfew because of what happened last weekend. That is not in place because of the NCAA tournament. It's because of what happened last weekend, and spring break is continuing through the weekend. So that was not in place because we didn't do that for the ice skating championships. We didn't do it for the Frozen Four. So this is just because spring break. The timing of it's more of a coincidence.
How do you answer those people who see St. Louis as something akin to a lawless city like the Wild Wild West? I mean, St. Louis is still considered one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. Right. So how do you answer the critics?
Well, you and I have had this discussion. If you take a look at in the last several years, our murder numbers have come down, incredible coming down, a lot of progress, Elliot. And you look at 263 murders that we had in 2020, and then we finished with 140 last year. Way too many, as you said. It's one too many, and it is high still. But it's progress. We gotta really measure ourselves against ourselves and give people hope we are getting better, because the community's involved in a lot of this success, Elliot, and we're getting better. Our shooting incidents are going down. They're almost down 40% from where they were 5 years ago. Our crime is down 50%. So I wish the press would at least acknowledge that and just say, hey, we are getting better, knowing we still have some challenges, Elliot. And that's what I would say to people. I would also say to people, I have young adult children that come to all these events. They do go downtown. They do go to these events. And so if I think it's safe enough, do you think my kids would be going unchaperoned as adults? Every one of my children are 18 above, 18 to 28. So that's what I would say to people. Come downtown. We're going to keep you safe. The police presence is going to be there. Are there going to be one-offs where we're going to have some people that get into conflicts and sometimes have poor conflict resolution skills and maybe use a firearm against each other? Yeah, that has happened. We've seen that happen. But they're getting less and less in our city, and that acknowledgement, I hope, can be made. But the statistics are out there. We put them online, SLMPD /stats.org. Please look it up, see those things. There's a lot of people that are feeling safer that live here, but we also know we still have a lot of work to do, just like any other city. These slideshows that are happening across the nation. We're looking at how other cities are happening. Some of this teen unruliness that's happening during spring break, it's happening all over the nation. Not to take away our responsibility, but I want to make sure that people know this is not just a St. Louis issue. This is a nationwide issue, and we as a city are going to take the responsible measures to try to make sure that we can try to mitigate it or slow it down or try to get appeal to the responsibility, just like we did this morning. We had slow down for safety with the Urban League, and we've asked for the public's help to help us keep these streets safer by slowing down. And that's what I'm doing here. You heard me say this. I don't want to have to use the measures we did on 4th of July. But I want to make sure that everybody knows what the rules are. We're going to look at the same way we did that. And one night, we had to make a lot of arrests. And after that, people understood why we're trying to change behavior to keep everyone safe. And I'm hoping not to use it, but to let everybody know this is what we're going to do. Because I've heard people say, we didn't know you were going to do this. Well, thank you very much for everyone being here to let everybody know we're going to do it. And we're going to keep the city safe, Elliot.
Is it still true that you don't have enough officers to keep the city safe?
Yeah, there's no chief out there would say, give me less police officers, Elliot, and this chief is not going to say that. I've stated that before. We are well below budgeted strength. We're about 250 officers where we're supposed to be at 1,100 officers, but my promise to you is that we'll find a way to make it work. You heard me talk about the other partners. You heard me talk about city services that are going to assist us with this. And then we're also going to use overtime and use officers. You don't want to have to always use it, but we're going to keep this city safe as necessary to when we can get back up to budgeted strength. And I hope to be at that point as soon as possible.
Chief Tracy, what do you say to the people who have been debating or Pittsfield,
Right.
shot? People are going to hear us talk about this curfew, specifically targeting downtown and these other areas for detention. What do you say to those folks who live in those particular
Right.
areas of Maine and North City, where they continue to see violence despite these levels going down? And, yeah, we don't like the laws, we know those facts, but people have safety concerns. What do you say to those people who are going to hear this new information or whatever?
Well, we go to community meetings all the time. We work with those communities. If you look at you can break down this city as far as statistics and what's happening, and it has come down even in the neighborhoods because we work together with the community. What happened in Baden? You know, we had a place that had a couple hundred more kids that should have been at a place. You know, that's a safety hazard, and we're going to have buildings look at that. We're going to make sure that the occupancy rate's going to be looked at. We got to keep everyone safe. So we do care about that. When with those things were breaking up, there was some gunshots. A young girl got shot. Thank God, she's going to recover from that. Maybe not the trauma, but hopefully physically, fully from that. And those are the type of things. But remember, our officers were up there running into that danger. We're going to continue to do that. And, you know, when we can get back up to budget strength, I can get more officers on the street. But in the meantime, we're going to try to leverage technology. We're going to work with the community. We're going to try to do this together. And then crime is going down, but we still got more work to do. And our promise is to go to those community meetings, work with the communities, not just in Baden, but all over the city, the 88 neighborhoods. And what are their concerns, and see how we can work together to improve those neighborhoods.
What else can you say to parents who are consistently not controlling?
I got two going on right now. we're going to have them for omnipresence, ask them to come out and just have more presence downtown, and as needed, if we need them to get involved, if there is some street takeovers, they can assist, but we have a lot of units that are looking at that at the same time. We do that, we do this almost every weekend. It has calmed down a lot from a couple of years ago, those things, because we're looking at, when I talked about having an intelligence division, Lieutenant Colonel, Real-Time Crime Center, we're looking at open source. They have to communicate with each other. And we start to see where they're going to stage up, when they're going to do it. And then we try to make sure that if anybody's organizing things, we're calling them up personally saying, hey, you're going to be responsible for bad behavior, or you're going to be responsible for this behavior. So I encourage you not to do it at all, but if you're going to do it, not to do it in the city of St. Louis. We will spike your tires. We will try to pull your cars over. We will impound your vehicles, what comes at a great cost, but that cost is nothing compared to the safety of our citizens of the city.
Chief, when you talk about on social media, there are videos out there about all of this mayhem that took place. Is there a cyber unit besides the intelligence unit that actually looks at these things maybe ahead of time? Because these kids seem to be planning all this on social media. And the other thing is, there was a flamethrower, there were rings of fire, they had long guns that I don't even know what kind of caliber they were.
Right.
I mean, and they're putting it out there on social media. How come that can't be tracked?
Well, that's what we're talking about, investigations right now. I just talked about the intelligence of open source and looking at these things. There's some things that you can look at, but there's other things that you need a search warrant, you need other things, and you have to establish that probable cause through the courts. We'll look at open source. They have to communicate. If you see all throughout the year, and you see the amount of vehicles we take, how many we spike, they have a good communication system. They can communicate with each other. We know the places that they stage up. They were even on O'Fallon Park 2 years ago. We try to get ahead of it. We try to mitigate these things. There's staging areas that we go to get ahead of them to try to stop it from happening. They'll start in the county on us, and then the county has to communicate with us. They'll start on the other side of the river, and they come in. So yes, we're doing all the things you just talked about, but I don't really want to give up too many of our things. But you're making a very good point. Yes, those are the things we do to get ahead of it. And like I said, we send our intel officers to go identify the individuals that are trying to set these things up and hold them accountable. And a lot of them are saying, I just the organizer. I said, well, no, you're responsible. So it has calmed down, but it picked up last weekend. I don't know if it was the 314 day because of that. And there's certainly some of the things that we were looking for. We're looking for every single day, anything that's happening. We talk to our intelligence division every time. We got a lieutenant colonel is here today. We talked about it this morning. I talk about it on Monday. And then if something does happen, the individuals you're talking about, we're trying to identify them, and then hopefully we'll be making a visit real soon to hold them accountable.
Mr. Tracy, can you reiterate the importance of parents playing a role in all this? Parents are going to hear this. Some of them are going to hear this.
Mhm.
A curfew is being moved up an hour. Those who are not going to take this
2 hours.
okay, it's going to be moved up. Those who are not going to take this seriously, what do you say to them?
I say to them, some of the parents were very surprised at 4th of July last year. We had one parent whose son was picked up, and we had to have him come to the reunification center, only to take their son and drop him off back downtown with fireworks again, shooting him at our officers and everything. We picked him up, and we had to summons that parent twice. Some of those parents, how do I get through to them? Those are ones that just are not going to take this and take it seriously, but we are. And there was a lot of parents that did take it very seriously. So please, you can go downtown and have a good time, but there has to be supervision. You're not going to get into many of these venues unless you have a parent. If you're a parent or guardian, you're not going to get into these venues. They're not going to allow it. And then, therefore, your kids are roaming around, and they're bumping into other groups of kids. And then what my main thing that I'm looking for is to keep our kids safe. And that's what I'm asking the parents. If there's other alternative things you can do, don't have them take Ubers, don't take Lyfts, don't borrow the grandma's car to come downtown. These are things that were happening, that we're seeing, and I'm not just saying this anecdotally. These are from investigations of kids that have been hurt or have gotten into trouble. So I'm asking them, please be responsible with your children. And for their safety, please, don't drop them off downtown, don't allow them to come down. Do things that in some of these youth centers, find things to do, find things to make sure that they can be supervised and not be downtown where it can cause some of these things, and or even in a Baden neighborhood where you go to a place where there's over 300 kids at a center, that's well above occupancy. And then when we're breaking it up, there's some things that happen where a young girl was shot.
Two more questions.
You know, when it comes to juveniles, street takeovers, crossing, you know, we can, when we're looking at the investigations, you talked about an individual, you know, that might have had that ring of fire and everything. Yeah, we talk to them. If there's charges that raise high enough for it to be federal charges, we always look at that option. I don't see anything right now, but if it does go to that level, we're going to make sure that we use every resource we have to try to change behavior.
Chief,
Have you
is,
charged,
are police getting? Go ahead.
Elliot, I'm going to go here,
Has
please.
anyone been arrested then, just to be perfectly clear, has anyone been arrested in connection with the street takeovers last weekend then?
We did tow some cars. We did, there's other things that we made some other arrests on reckless driving. I don't think anything tied directly into that. That's why we're asking for the public's help. We're going to take a look at that, and we're following up. We're not letting that go. So nobody has been arrested from that, but the investigation's ongoing.
And the folks you have kind of maybe soft identified, are they from St. Louis, or are they from the surrounding region? I mean, where are these folks from?
You're asking me to give up some intel on it, but I will tell you, when it does come to juveniles being downtown, I told you, you know, I'm finding almost half of them are coming from not city residents. And we find when it comes to these street takeovers and everything, they're coming from throughout the region, and I can almost say almost half of them are not from the city, from the ones that we actually take their car, make the arrest, and we're getting firearms out of these cars. When we make those arrests and pull these cars over, and as you can see, then there's shots fired that you've seen that happen in the county in an incident where someone was died, and then you take a look at the woman hanging outside the window. I mean, she's lucky to be alive after the injuries of hanging outside a window. So we want to keep everybody safe. There's a danger to it. Elliot, I'm going to let you ask that question, right?
Are police getting as much help as needed from the office of Mayor Kara Spencer?
Today, we had a great conversation. We talked about what some of the city resources. I didn't see the press release, so I'm going to speak from our conversation today. You know, the Commissioner of Excise looking at these places that are staying open later, where the problem nuisance properties are, where people have occupancies, Office of Violence Prevention, and what they can do to get ahead of things, to help with these kids, youth services that the mayor has. And, you know, there's so many other things that it's all hands on deck. And certainly the city, and we both know that we want to keep people safe. We want to have a safe weekend. We want to have every weekend to be safe. So each and every day is a strategy, but certainly with a lot of things aligning and what happened last weekend, the mayor takes this seriously, her team, and we had a really good conversation, and we were working well together.
I noticed you said
Hold
today.
on. Thank you, Chief. We will keep everybody updated. There might be some additional updates in the coming days. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.